I had laying around just to kind of show the light effect a little better. But we made some flaws in that first video. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'll link it in the description and check it out. We're going to address those issues today. Those issues were hot spotting, overall thickness, and you can see some hot spotting again right there. I wasn't real happy with how the seams came out on these. So we're actually going to go and do something a little different. We're going to go and make this. We're actually going to turn, in the sign industry, they call these logo boxes. But I'm going to go ahead and do it, and I'm going to do it with a wood veneer. I am going to light up the front, and I am going to light the sides right here. And we're doing this in clear instead of white. So we're going to probably get a little bit of a different effect on this. And I did change the lighting. So a lot of the issues I had was with lighting. I put too big of a LED mod in these, so it caused a lot of issues. But we're going to actually put in some, I ordered some zigzags. So we're going to put some zigzag LEDs in. And I think this is going to make this look a lot better. But even with these lit up on a kind of a nice wood background, they light up really well. So let's get going on to this one here. I'm going to kind of walk you through the process. I'm going to put some time lapse in on some of the assemblies so it doesn't get boring for you guys. But no, this one should go together pretty quick. I'll slow the time lapse down on important parts throughout the video, and let's get this thing going. Alright guys, so we're gonna assemble, basically how I made this is it's a ring system. We're stacking layers. So right now I got a I got 1/4 inch acrylic. There's actually a 1/4 inch of acrylic ring that's running below here, and a wood 1/4 inch ring, and this is just gonna sit right on top. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue the two rings together. One of the mistakes I made in the last video was I didn't put a pin system in. Well, I did, but I didn't use it. So right now I got pins in them. You can see them right here, 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 and here. This is going to help me align things a little better. Huge mistake I made on my end. So we're going to address that now. I'm going to use this Star Bond for this project. You can, if you're gluing acrylic to acrylic, I use the Weld-On products. That works really well, and it bonds it really tight. And I highly recommend using that stuff. Just be prepared. It is really hazardous, and wear gloves. But no, check out Weld-On products. They got a lot of the thin glues, acrylic glues. I mean, they're a good product, and I highly recommend them. But yeah, just be cautious with it, because they're actually really dangerous. So I got that glued, I got the pins in, and now I'm just going to stick this on there. Put a little bit of pressure on there, make sure that's all bonding nice. Alright, and then as you can see the pins, they're right here, they just come out. They're not in there permanently. Again, they're just for alignment. So this looks like this is dry. Yeah, it is dry. So when we pull it off, I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about here. You can see there's the pins right there. We're just going to pull them out. They're actually no longer needed at the moment. So, and now we got that wood veneer onto that clear, and the seam looks really sharp. You can't even tell. You'd almost think it's one piece, but that came out really well. And like I say, that part is done. So the next part we're going to do is take our faceplate, turn it upside down. I want to get these back lenses put in place. So the reason for these is I'm actually going to go and put letters, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So the letters, if that's glued on there, okay, so imagine that's glued on there, it creates me a backer. Ooh, I kind of messed that up. It creates me a backer for me to glue these letters onto. So these letters They're frosted acrylic, 1/4 inch thick. I cut all this on the X tool. I'm trying to do all my projects for YouTube on the X tool because I know a lot of people run they run their a lot of their projects on those small desktops. But as you can see, real clean edge. X tool does a really good job. But anyways, these letters, they're just going to go in right here. They're sitting pretty much flush, but they're up just a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the letters lit and the sides lit. So I think this is going to be a pretty sharp looking sign. So we're going to go ahead and get this glued up and going. Alright, so we got everything ready to be glued in. I am actually going to use the thin, like we call it thin glue from Weld-On. This glues acrylic to acrylic. So I'm actually going to use this stuff. It literally looks like water, no odor. That's what makes this stuff so dangerous. But it's it works really well for bonding acrylic pieces. But no, it doesn't take much. We just got to get a little bit in there. And it's all it needs. Just a little pressure, and that will be welded in there. So just give it a minute. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get these all glued in, and then I'll put a time lapse in so I don't bore you guys with the assembly of this. Alright guys, here is the new sign all lit up. The changes I made a huge difference. So I'm getting some good lighting on the text, nice halo effect. You can see the mods on the side, but not the end of the world. But the thing is only about 1 inch thick, but it looks really sharp. And I know the photo doesn't show it, but it's actually got a warm hue in it. But let me turn the lights on and we're kind of explain what I did to get this lighting and the improvements I've made. Okay, so here's the sign all finished with the lights off. You can see we got 2 layers of 1/4 inch acrylic and 2 layers of 3/16 oak with an MDF core. This sign is meant for interior only, but you can do this as an exterior sign. I would just not use this MDF. I would just do everything out of acrylic. And I think for this type of sign, doing it in acrylic is going to last a lot longer and a lot better. But like I say, for an interior sign, this works really well. So the changes I made on this, so you can kind of see, here's the back. It's just a ring. Nothing real fancy, just some lenses in the back to house the letters. Really just straightforward. And then here I cut another ring. It's a little hard to see, but you can see there's another ring right here. And what I did is I have the light shooting out to the side and shooting in to the sign itself, and that allows a good lit and halo effect. And you don't have to do clear acrylic. I did clear because I just like the look of clear. I think it shoots off a little better. And one thing with this clear as well is if you space it up, so I got these little spacers right here. If you space it off the wall, say I don't know, even if you went like an inch, you know, now you're going to get more of a softer halo off the back. But the lights I used, I got these off of Amazon. I'll link them down below. I call them zigzags, but they're really nice lights. They are, you can dim them, but like I say, I didn't get the power supply with these, so I'm just going to wire in on my own and do it that way. But they're nice. I do love these lights. They are 3M tape on the back, so they hold really well. And like I say, if the photo or show it, the acrylic is 1/4 inch thick. Those lights are right at about 1/4 of an inch. So they're pretty slim, and as you can see, they're maybe an 1/8 inch thick overall. Really nice lights. I do like them quite a bit. But you know, to make these type of signs, you really don't need much. You just really need a laser, a creative mind, you know, some glues and basic knowledge of wiring, and you can make a gorgeous sign. Please subscribe and like the video. Comment below on some changes or thoughts. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.